Dear respondents of 3D Graphy News, it's good to connect with you all. And let me take the opportunity to introduce 3D Graphy News, a platform which is formulated for a conscious effort to promote 3D technology, and also initiators who have been doing a great work in this space using the technology in various areas of specialization across sectors. So 3D Graphy News was a conscious effort for the last 8 years in terms of building platforms to events and conferences and also training programs. And this was a time for us to see that how these information source can be a one-stop solution for respondents to learn and understand where this technology is leading. And there are some of great initiators also who we could connect so that the source of information is rightly translated through the platform, which is digital. And we all know the importance of digital in COVID times. We have been able to experience this. So today I have a guest speaker and somebody who I could interview as an opportunity, who has set up their service center in the online space, again, digitally. I'm sure they are also using an AI-based tool, ensuring how this is more of a convenience for doctors and surgeons when it comes to solution in 3D printing, giving them customized solutions in this space. So may I introduce Mr. Ketan Jajal, the founder of Jajal Medical, who is a key respondent. Thank you, Mr. Ketan,
Thank you,
for
Dr.
being
Shibu. It's
a
a
part of
pleasure
this
to be part of this. Thank
interview.
you.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Um, uh, Ketan, I would need to understand, from where it all started, and also our audience would want to know more than me, which I am aware in terms of where we could start from the early times in terms of being
hmm
connected. But the
hmm
audience would want to know, one, where did it all start, and what was the conceptualization for you to get into this business, and the need. I'm sure it was because of the gap to ensure that how you can be how you wanted to be a solution provider, and to see that how it can
hmm
be a source of right connect for the end users, the doctors and surgeons.
hmm Yeah. So, thank you, Dr. Shibu, for giving this opportunity. I mean, I have been in this industry for the last almost 20 years, starting with my master's thesis in customized 3D printed implants, design and manufacturing almost 20 years ago. I've been associated with the industry, understanding, supporting, helping in different capacities. And really in 2019, I felt that especially in India, there was a need for better solutions in terms of customer experience, in terms of solutions that are clinically meaningful, and there weren't really that many companies who would provide quality products. So that was kind of the inspiration to really take a plunge and give it a try. So in 2019, Ravi, who's a co-founder, and I kind of started this company with the motto that, okay, let's help the surgeons in India when it's complex surgeries, and how we can help them. So we traveled across the country, talked to many surgeons, and really it revalidated the need. So we started giving them 3D models and surgical guides and customized implants. And we also realized that the digital platform was something that was very important, and there was a gap around that. So to enable this, right, we created our own mysegmenter.com platform, where surgeons can upload CT scans, get to see the 3D models, use that as a communication platform with our engineers, and really take this step forward in terms of digitization. So yeah, it's been a journey, but we have come a long way now. We have trusted customers, and we continue to grow, and we continue to grow the team as well as grow the customer base as well. So yeah, that's where we are.
So Ketan, which is the area, which is your area of specialization in terms of addressing to? I mean, because our body is a very complex creation,
mm,
though rightfully so. Every part, every body, construct is very very important. And
yeah,
I'm sure with this 3D technology,
yeah,
you can service each and every anatomy. So, where
yeah.
did and which industry, as in I'm just trying to understand head and neck,
Hmm.
orthopedics, various of those.
Hmm. Yeah.
Where was your core interest, and now how is it, uh, you know, seeing the larger
Yeah.
area of specialization that you would want to address? Yeah.
Yeah. So we started with orthopedics, with our background in orthopedics. We started with orthopedics, but we soon realized that it's the oral maxillofacial area where the need is even broader and bigger. So now we support orthopedics as well as oral maxillofacial. In oral maxillofacials, we have actually all kinds of different things we've done over time. If you look at it, you can see we've done the mandible reconstructions, the total TMJ joint. We also have done orbital floors, maxillary implants, cranial, and stuff like that. So, the combination of head and neck, I would say, and orthopedics are joints and head and neck are like the two core areas we are focusing on because, the need is definitely much higher. And especially, during the COVID times, there's patients with mucosis and stuff like that, where, we were able to support and really provide that solution to the customers.
Okay. So, how does it work? So, do you have an integrated model for doctors also to access this online piece
Yes,
when it
yes.
comes to iteration and
Yeah.
of the software and the design? How does it?
Hmm. Hmm.
If you
Yeah.
can
So
broadly, yeah.
absolutely. So, we absolutely have an integrated model where, it's either the surgeon or the CT scan center or the distributor, who has the data. The first step, of course, for us is the getting the CT scan data. Once we have the CT scan data, we create, we get that uploaded onto my segmental platform. We get the 3D, then the surgeons, can log into that. They can have access to all of their patients as well. Many a times we have surgeons who would say, hey, I want to interact with my other colleagues and I want to showcase a particular case or discuss a particular case. It's great to have this access everywhere, right? I can open my laptop and I can show my colleague, hey, this is, check out this case, or if I want to specifically discuss something. So all that is integrated into it, including the payment platform. With the advent of UPI in India particularly, right? We are able to use leverage some of those where many a times the same open link can be opened by the surgeon as well as patient, and patient would use it to make the payment, and they can also see their own model and all. So it really created this transparent structure within the clinical community, right, which helped everyone, including patients relatives, doctors, their colleagues, and for us as well, our design engineers. Many a times they had to communicate, these surgeons may not have time, right, but then they were able to look at the 3D and say, okay, they would mark an area and say, okay, I'm going to highlight or create a plane and show it to you what I need to do, and I'll save it, you take a look at it when you have a chance. So there is less back and forth happening now. And the designs become fine tuning every time. So I think the digitization has really helped us. As we grow, it's going to be even more important.
Yes, and to an extent, I think patient satisfaction index is also being measured, and it actually helps
Absolutely.
with technology. So, tell me
Yeah.
one thing, Ketan, is this an access platform for everybody from a patient to a doctor, real time, or because back and forth, as you rightly mentioned, back and forth means once a correction is made, you get it, you get at your end for your designers to make the correction, then send it to them and come back. Is this a platform where you can also have a real time experience when the doctor, while you make the design, he's also watching you make the design, and then he responding and making the correction? Is that a possibility?
Not, we are not there yet. Right now it is
Yeah.
the real time is the 3D is the real time, right? So they are able to zoom in to the implant or the model. They are able to measure things. They are able to annotate. They're able to create planes and stuff like that, right? But the design is still done in the back end. The tools, the designers, and because the AI and all that has not reached that point yet. And we
Okay.
believe that no matter how smart the AI is, right, at the end, you're working on a human subject, right, or a human patient, right? It is never going to happen that everything will be automated, and a design that was created by a machine would be directly printed and used, because there always will have to be a human set of eyes that needs to look at it and ensure the quality of that product, because at the end of the day, these are medical devices, right, and they are
Hmm.
regulated medical devices at the end, right? So definitely, but we are going towards that, and the interactions really help, directly, where the engineer, the doctor is looking at it, and as soon as he's like, okay, I need to talk to an engineer, the engineer is also available at that point to also provide that feedback. And all what we are trying to do is make it more convenient for the surgeons, so it's easier for them, and helps them make certain decisions faster and more accurate, right? It's more about, for us, it's more about the accuracy, right? Many a times, yeah, 3D printing, planning, all that's going to take time, right? If they want to do the surgery right away, okay, they can go ahead. But what we claim is, if we provide a better visualization, if we provide a better plan for them, along with the 3D printed models or surgical guides, or even implants, right, the confidence level and the accuracy, and we are seeing this, we are seeing reduction in surgical time, we are seeing increase in overall patient satisfaction, overall confidence of the surgeon when they go inside the surgery, right? When they go in, like, now they're like, yeah, I've already done this once on virtually, and I'm just need to re-execute now inside the surgery.
And do you have your own set of machines, Ketan, in terms of
Mhm.
the actual implants prototype? Yes, I'm sure every center probably would have to look at the models to then feel it, show it to the surgeons. Are you an end-to-end kind of a platform, or do you have a process where it has been outsourced?
Yeah, so we are an end-to-end solution provider, right? For the customers facing, we provide everything, whether it's just a simple 3D model all the way to joint implants, right? It's not so, I think what is important to know is that the world of implant manufacturing requires so significant amount of not only investment but variations in terms of the type of product or the type of implant that a customer or a patient needs, right? So when that is there, right, we have kept our kind of supply chain very strong, right? So we have global supply chain of partners who provide us whatever we need, whether it's 3D printing, whether it's machining, whether it's casting, whatever is needed, we have that as our part of the supplier needs. But at the end of the day, right, what customers are looking for is a final product that works, right? And somebody who's going to take the ownership of that as a manufacturer. And that is where we stand up, right? And we say, yeah, this is Jajal Medical's product, and we take full ownership of this product. And we have certain processes in house, we have certain processes that are outsourced in combination. But on the, like you said, on the polymer side, we have print farms now at multiple locations. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
and it's ever expanding um, journey for us.
Yeah. Ketan, one more question. Now, when it comes to accreditation and certification of these parts, and which are actually C2 implants, which is actually
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
are inside the body, of course, we also see that biocompatible materials are also used for even uh, for orthotics appliances or splints or even surgical guides.
Hmm.
But for anything to do with metal implants or a different or a peak material, eh, what is this standard of certification? Do this PSI require that kind of a certification in India, or it has been understood that these materials are compatible, so it can go into the body?
No, no, no. Absolutely, the standard, including the India FDA, which is the CDSO, requires this, and it's a mandatory now. And we have those certifications, and it's part of the ISO 13485. Regulatory approvals, regulatory certifications are an absolute must, right? No matter whether it's a 3D printing, it's, if you think about it, right, for a medical device or for any regulatory, it's another manufacturing way, right? Yeah, it might be the coolest latest thing, but at the end of the day, these are critical components, some of them class C and class D, which we work on, right, which are is a high risk products, right? So it has to go through the regulatory process and has to be approved by them. So yeah, absolutely. And I think it's becoming, I think the good news is, the world is now coming together with harmonizations happening in ISO 13485, US FDA, CE, and the other markets are also now MDSAP and all. Everybody's kind of combining it, and this is going to only benefit because everybody is now talking the same language, and the processes and systems are becoming more and more common. So it's a good thing, but I think it's also important that I want to stress that you cannot, even if it is touching the human body, right, even if it's a oral or a splint or what you mentioned, right, it has to be medical grade, right? There is no second option
Exactly.
that, oh, it's okay, right? That is not there, right? It cannot be, right? Because at the end of the day, who's going to be responsible for a toxic material that ends up in patient's mouth, right? And patient has some other problems, right? It has to be processed. There is a standard, the world has worked to this standard for last 30-40 years, and we have to follow it. So I think that is an approach that we have taken, and I think we've been pretty happy with our outcomes. We see our implants are fitting really well. We see quality systems in place. We see patient outcomes, patient satisfaction, because it will show up, right, at the end of the day. You put the implants, it will show up over 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, and our customers will start calling back and say, hey, your implants have complaints, right? And we want to make sure that we are no different than any other global medical device company and provide a superior quality product. That is what we stand for, and that is why we started this business.
Right. Thank you so much, Ketan, for your time, and wishing you all the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you.
And I thanks wonderful talk and information that you've shared. And I think innovatively, digitally, you've been able to really source information and also respond in terms of giving your services. Uh, and doing a great job, Ketan. And wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for
Thank you,
your
Dr.
time,
Shibu.
Ketan.
Pleasure
Have a
talking to you.
wonderful
Thank you.
weekend. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.